that that's an important part in loving them well. Jeff, I didn't share with Jeff this story. One of my cousins reminds me often of a time when you challenged him in his beliefs and in his thinking. In fact, you challenged so deeply that of all the lessons you ever taught in his Sunday school, this is the one lesson was the one that you taught when you asked my family, who are restaurant owners, who bring Sunday lunch, and asked them a really pertinent question, which was, Jesus turned over the tables at the temple for selling things. How come we're allowing your parents to sell things at church? And it wasn't a press against what we're doing, but it was a challenge. Well, how do you justify this? How does this work out? And all that to be said is, parents, yes, be in prayer for your own kids, but your involvement, your taking those regrets and making them motivations to care for kids that are not yours is really important. Your kids, and this comes from Sticky Faith, your kids need adult friends, and not just young adult friends, not just college friends. They need adult friends. And Jeff, I'll say this, that Jeff at that time cared about my cousin enough to challenge him and challenge him to walk faithfully. And so, by the way, a good book is Prodigal God by Timothy Keller, which talks about God being a good father and all the things he pours out to his prodigal son. So I would also encourage you to consider reading that as well.
Just to add to that, Pastor Jeff, your wife, Pearl, I've been yelled at maybe by every single auntie in church except Pearl. And I remember right? It's her kindness, because she was the only one that was kind, like super kind to me, because I was annoying, but she was kind, and I will always remember that. And so it's something beautiful that it was different, right? I got yelled at by everybody. I was okay with that. I was like, whatever, I'm not going to listen to you anyways. But when she was kind, like, please sit down. Like, what? There's an adult saying please to me? What is this? What? I should sit down. This is scary, And so there's that. I think, there's a really big name speaker named John Piper. His son actually walked away from Jesus, Abraham Piper.
Yep. Yes.
And he prayed and prayed. And then Abraham Piper, his testimony is really funny. And then he's like, went to college, hated Jesus because his dad was always busy, with church ministry. So if you're on a pastoral, deacon board, and give your pastors a bigger break so their PKs don't hate the church. All right. But anyways, Abraham Piper, his testimony is that he bought a pack of cigarettes and opened the Gospels and said, I'm going to read this for the first time. And he goes, by the time I was finished with my cigarette, I believed in Jesus. And so this is the thing, when I say that to you, our gut reaction is like, smoking a cigarette, you missed the story. A man came to Christ when he read the Bible for himself, not just hearing what his parents said, but he had to do it on his own, right? Like, so his dad is John Piper, right? So be kind. People have a journey, and, most mistakes are short-term, but if we are overly critical, sometimes it becomes a permanent mistake. And so, let's be more gracious and pursue them. I think Abraham Piper has his testimony. I'll find it. I'll send it to Pastor Jeff, and Pastor Jeff, you can send it out to them as stories about prodigals that came back later.
Okay. For all of our listener audience, we are committed. We are committed to help you and to see your teen growth, and we have a very soft spot in all our hearts for our young people who have walked away from their faith, and we and the ministries involved, we are determined to help the parents of prodigal kids. So stay with us, and we have more, and that's what we do. Wow. Thank you for sharing. I know when I was younger, I still probably is, whatever I said in church really hurt some people. That and Victor, and please tell your cousins. Yeah, I think I remember what I said. Yeah.
It wasn't hurtful, and it was encouraging because you turned it around. You shared with them the gospel. You shared with them why it's okay to serve food at church, and they just remember that it was grace giving, challenging, right? That they weren't just comfortable in their seats as Christians. And so again, yeah, I really
well, for people who don't know, later on I went on to teach and share a lot of the time in the churches around the world about your families and your cousins who sell boba tea in the church, and to raise funds for mission funds. And so please tell them that. Okay, alrighty. I think we will pause here. If there are any questions, and we'd love to open up to hear. And you probably already read, and then Victor and Joshua, if maybe you can answer some of the questions. We were allowed 15 minutes for question and answer, and then we will ask both Victor and Pastor Josh to pray for your kids, pray for parents, and pray for the youth who are attending today. Yeah. Any questions? Now is a good time to answer. I enjoy being a disc jockey. Yeah. This is fun. We would love to hear if from you. How many of you are from churches that have no youth pastors? Yeah, if you can just kindly type it into you don't have youth pastors. Yeah. Victor and Josh, and how much do you guys get paid? No, don't answer that. Don't answer that. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I know for a fact.
Larry Jeff, I saw the room chat. There's one question. Both pastors, would you provide some already available resource to help parents to pushing and evangelize our children? Yeah, there's one question.
Okay. Those are the resources that, yeah, how to raise your kids. Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think the hard part is there are some resources, I think, generally for evangelizing, and there are some good articles. For instance, Rooted Ministries is a organization that a retreat I go to, and as well like a resource. Rooted does a lot of material for parents, so I would really suggest that. I'll put up the website here in a little bit. But I think there has to be a mentality shift, and that's more important than necessarily like reading the books. I mean, I think the books are very helpful, but this mentality of my kids need the gospel, my kids need gospel grace, my kids need love more than best behavior, more than a successful life even. And I think that mentality shift is starting there is very, very important.